But what we stand for as leaders is that transparency matters land in this country, and what we have as our manifesto is to ensure there is total fairness. What has actually come to light, and I really want to appreciate DCI, they thoroughly brought out a list that includes different groups of cartels, ranging from people who are being paid by taxpayers' money, whereby eventually then they continue cartelling and selling this land fraudulently. It is a high time that we urge that action be taken by government to ensure that total compensation will be done by the same people who fraudulently count these very innocent Kenyans. I want to state that the Excellency, the President, William RUTO, has nothing to do in what is being purported by our colleagues from the other side, that we are trying to not consider families. That is not the case. The law cuts across both sides of the coin. There is no that it is leaning to one group of people. So the President is not in regards to is very fair in ensuring that law is adhered to. As my colleague has also stated, the leaders, especially the Machakos leaders, who have really come out, they have been there when these lands have been sold. They have been on the front line. They've been mentioned. They should be actually on the same front line, taking themselves to the same DCI and being able to honor the particular summons and being more responsible, instead of trying to come out and show sympathy, which does not completely make sense. This property has had a case for over 10 years. In the court, it was ruled. So a process has taken place. Where were these people in terms of the people who sold them land? If they felt genuinely that it was not the case, they did not present themselves. They were not party to the court issue, and then they let it die because they knew the status. So these issues of land cartelling should come to an end, and this should set an example. As we've also mentioned, we have different tribes that have been affected. We have Mount Kenya. We have people coming from the western region, because Kenya belongs to everybody. You can be able to settle anywhere. So it's not really a community that we are just here trying to say this is the only community that is here. We are representing all Kenyans and trying to say that local leaders honor your problems, honor your menace that you took, and be able to be on the front line and compensate the Kenyans who are suffering right now. That is what we stand for, and we stand to ensure that fairness will be accorded as required. Thank you.
I will read then the members who make a few remarks about the same. In reference to the ongoing demolitions at the East Africa Portland Cement PLC property, we wish to state as follows. One, that we deeply empathize with all Kenyans whose property, shelter, and investments were demolished at Mavoko's East Africa Portland's land. Two, that all those who are already adversely mentioned to have duped gullible and innocent Kenyans and fleeced them of their hard-earned money while masquerading as the legitimate owners of the Portlands be compelled by government to fully compensate the victims of the demolitions. Three, that the DCI should urgently investigate all those mentioned as beneficiaries of the proceeds acquired illegally from the sale of Portland's land. Four, that we are aware that the same criminals have also invaded other private lands, denying the rightful owners the freedom to enjoy their own land. The investigations should also be expanded to cover the invasion of neighboring private lands. Five, that this is not a Kamba issue, but a cartel of conmanship patronized by a few known politicians, and the crocodile tears that some of our leaders you've seen in solidarity with the same people they stole from should be ignored. 6, that those found culpable be charged in our courts of law to serve as an example to the rest of anyone hell-bent to steal from taxpayers, because the state corporation's land is property of the state and not private property, as the land cartels and criminals and their mandarins would want to allude, purport, or insinuate. Their assets should be recovered after the investigations and prosecutions to compensate Kenyans who have lost millions in the fraudulent land deals. 7, Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka and Honorable Wavinya Ndie and other leaders be compelled to publicly declare what their private interest, and I want you to mark the word private interest, not public interest, is in the Portland's land. They should also be investigated on how much land has been allocated to them through their proxies. And therefore that, number 8, the DCI list should be expanded to capture the big fish, including governors and party leaders. The DCI should not be scared. They should expand the list. We don't believe this is a Macau-only issue. The list must be expanded to capture the big fish.